Hey guys, I thought this week it would be kind of fun to learn some of these kind of octave tricks that you can do in the key of G. So we're just going to go over them really quickly. I think there's something fun to kind of have underneath your fingers when you're playing the guitar, especially an acoustic guitar. So we're going to work on some in just the key of G. And so for reference, without getting too deep into music theory, the chords that you can really choose in the key of G would be a G, an A minor, a B minor, a C, a D, E minor. Okay, now there's another chord in that would be the F sharp sustain. But when we're talking about most songs that do the key of G, they're not using that one. Okay, so we're really just going to look at the major chords that we would use, major and minor, but the main chords is a better word for it. And we're going to look at the corresponding octaves that you can play with them. Okay, so let's start with the G chord. The corresponding octave that you can play with that, the kind of cool trick that you can do, is all the way up here. So you're going to do, your pointer finger is going to be on the 10th fret of the A string, and then your pinky is going to be on the 12th fret of the B string. And you're just going to pluck those two notes. And that goes along with the G chord. Now the other thing you can do is you can use your pinky and grab that 13th fret of the B string, and those two notes sound good there as well. Okay, so then we've got the A minor chord, and what you do for that one is pretty similar to the G. I'm just going to slide a little bit here. You're going to put your pointer finger on the 12th fret of the A string, and then you're going to put your pinky on the 13th fret of the B string, and that's going to go with your A minor chord. Okay, and then you've got a B minor chord. Okay, sorry. And what you're gonna do for this one is you could go all the way here if you wanted to, which would be your pointer finger is on the 14th fret of the A string, and then your pinky or ring finger, whichever one you're feeling, is on the 15th fret of the B. But it also works up here, where you just put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then your pinky or ring finger on that 3rd fret of the B string. And that's going to be your B minor. Alright, then our next chord is a C. For a C, here's what you can do. So you can do a pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then a pinky. I would recommend pinky for this for sure, although you could do your ring finger. Pinky on the 5th fret of the B string. And then one of the variations you can do is this. And that would be using your middle finger to grab that 3rd fret of the B string. Okay, and our next chord is a D. So we're going to take that same shape we had the C, just slide everything up 2 frets. So then we've got our, on the 5th fret of the A string, our pointer finger goes, and then our pinky goes on the 7th fret of that B string. And you can do the same thing. So that would be from the 7th fret of the B string to that 5th fret of that B string. Okay? Then our last chord is the E minor. So this is an E minor. Now this one's kind of cool because you can actually play that low E string as well if you'd like. But you're going to put the pointer finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the A string, and then your ring finger is going to go on the 8th fret of the B string. But you can also play the low E string. And here's some variations you can do with that one. So you can get the 10th fret of the B string, and you can get the 7th fret of the B string. So you got 3 little notes there. So that's kind of cool. But you've got several different like octave, I guess they'd call couplets because they're just 2, they're not triplets, that you can play up and down the neck. So if you're playing something like just G, C, D, E minor, right? That's just a classic kind of key of G. You can spice it up by going. Maybe throw in an A minor. So kind of play along with that. And of course, you might know there's plenty of songs that have this, like Blackbird. That was not perfect, but you know, Blackbird or even Fast Car, they're built off these. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments below.